All right, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategy is concise business advice. So let's get started. Question number 1. In a few words, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Keith Grunig. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing with HomeCare Answers. I really kind of work through the business side of that company because it's a bunch of medical people and they don't love business. So I help with them.
Well, cool. And a great first name. I approve of
It,
the first name as well, so that's awesome.
not many we find, so we're kindred spirits. Good job.
That's right. So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
Honestly, probably the best thing is the opportunity to help people and inspire them to see higher than themselves and then help them get more out of themselves than they ever thought was possible. I love to put people in a position to succeed, and then really we just kind of get out of the way and let them go once we give them the tools to get there.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of things bringing people down these days, so to inspire people, that's a great thing to do. Question number 3. I hear from other leaders that their people strategy can be more of a challenge than their business strategy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's kind of 2 parts, really. Short answer is the strategy is easy to put on paper. It's kind of like a map. But people strategy, we're all driving on a bus, and we got to make sure that the right people are on the right seats driving the bus so we can get to where we want to get, because businesses aren't anything without its people. And if we don't get our people right and treat our people right, then we're not going to get where we want to be.
Very nice. Well said. All right. Question number 4. What strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
So the strategy that I thought really most about around is using data to help us get to where we want to be. Most people don't even know where they want to go. Like, this is what I want to do, but they're not using data points along the way to get them there. Because most businesses, if you look at it, they're giving us all the information that we need to get to where we want to go, and the business and the data always points us in the right direction. It's
Right.
going to get us 85% of the way there. So that's probably the strategy that I discuss is, take time and give time to look at what the data says. And if you don't know, find somebody that does. When I came on to HomeCare Answers, I have a business analytics background actually from retail, not in the medical side. And I looked at all of the details and the business and said, where are we at? And there was a few things that just suddenly just popped out just out of the data, like boom, boom, boom. Hey, look, we need to capitalize here. This is actually lower revenue, but way higher margin. Why don't we focus on that? And we've been able to do that. And we've taken the data that our customers are giving us, and we've turned that back around to give that back to them so that they can make good decisions. I tell people that data drives decisions, but great data drives great decisions.
I like that. Yeah.
That's really what we really need to look at the data. And right now in the current environment, data can be a little misleading because of some of the downturn and some of the things we've got, which why we use as long a data set as possible and look at multiple data sets to get us where we want to get to. And then we just have to interpret it. And then that's where the people strategy comes in, because we identify through the data what it is that we need to do and where we need to go. And then we have to work with the people to get them on board. But it's the good thing about data is it doesn't have feelings, and it doesn't have, like, it just says, this is what it is. And when you have a fact and something to back it up with, people will believe you, and business leaders will help you say, look, this our average price is this, and that's not where we want to be. Or, hey, look, this employee is where we're seeing, we actually had an employee that was struggling a little bit, and we realized through looking at some of the data, it wasn't actually what we thought it was. It was a misunderstanding of the regulations. And we were looking at, like, do you want to be part of the company? Do you not want to be part of the company? Yeah. And we looked through some of the data because performance looked like this, but then we said, oh, look at this, boom. And then we were able to have a conversation. Do you understand that? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? So then we could help them understand and give context as to what the regulations and what we were looking for. And suddenly the numbers popped right back up.
Oh, cool.
So
Well,
it's important.
I love your answer. One of the premise that your answer relies on is having that data. And it seems like there's a lot of businesses that don't collect that data. And so obviously the first thing is to collect that data, but like you said, to actually use that data and do something.
And honestly, most people have the data. Most of them, they have it. They just don't know how to get to it.
That's true a lot of times too.
You just look at it and say, all right, maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet. You say, oh, look, here's a percentage over time. We're growing, we're not growing. What do we compared to last month? What do we compared to this month? Where do we want to be? You know, it's financial data. It can be, if it's retail, there's loads of retail data. How are we managing things? Is it, you know, there's a lot of things that we can use, and all the principles are the same. The numbers are the same when you boil down to it in any industry.
Awesome. Question number 5. What other successful leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge, or you think would be a great guest on the podcast?
You know, there's a lot of people. There's one guy that I look up to a lot, former boss of mine, Ed Larson, good guy. He's in the outdoor space. And then another guy I get a kick out of. He runs a fast food joint, a local Dairy Queen. His name's Eric Packer. Really good guy, because he gets it. He gets the people side of it. I look up to him a lot.
Awesome. Well, we'll look those people up and look at having them as a guest on the show.
I'll get you their information.
Sounds great. So question number 6, kind of a final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
My favorite past boss has been in the awesome boss. His name was Troy Bozard. Super good guy. He really helped me understand, give people the right tools and then stand back and let them roll. And he supported me where I needed it, but he got involved if I asked for it. But other than that, he just kind of let me run what I needed to do, and always had my back when it came down to it. And I learned so much from him. The data is, he never asked him a question because he knew the answer, and don't ever disagree with it because he looked over it. And he's like, yeah, back in 2005, we did this and this. And you look back and I go, geez, you got it. Wow. He helped me understand the importance of data to help us get through our decisions.
That's awesome. Well, great. Well, hey, I've enjoyed having you on, but before we go, can you tell people how they can get a hold of you or find you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, Keith Grunig, HomeCare Answers. We help home care and home health people maximize data or maximize revenue through our data analysis. And LinkedIn, you can get me at keith@homecareanswers.com. LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't really look at some of the Twitter and all that other stuff, but I enjoy it.
Sounds great. Well, great. Well, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights and ideas, you can also follow us at Weaver Business Coaching and on LinkedIn. Best success to you.